Let's switch gears and talk about Thanksgiving. We know it's 2 weeks from today, okay? Which means that the countdown to the holiday chaos already underway for some of us. Hanukkah, 28 days away. Christmas, 46, followed by Kwanzaa, then New Year's.
It's all flying by, which means family get-togethers, Friendsgiving, holiday parties, and lots of social gatherings where not everyone maybe agrees on the same things and they don't necessarily get along. So in order to keep the peace and manage tense family dynamics, we invited conflict resolution expert Damali Peterman to give us some tips. So good morning, Damali.
Good morning, Hazel and Dan.
Morning.
It's super hectic. Lots going on right now. So when you get to a party, you're not really thinking about how you're going to approach who's all going to be at the party, right? So how do we prepare?
Well, first, I think it's most important to think about being grateful. So adopting a positive attitude and just expressing that gratitude. So for example, if it took you a long time to get there, or if you had to overcome hurdles or obstacles, maybe not start with that, start with something positive to sort of get the ball rolling in a positive direction.
Here's the thing, right? And in some family situations, you have 20 people gathering around a table, right? You want to show up as who you are, your true, authentic self. But sometimes if you're at a work function, whatever it may be, people have their idea of who you are and want that person to show up. How do you manage that?
That's excellent. So managing expectations is key. However, you must embrace your authentic self and show up as you are. Now, we all wear different hats, right? So sometimes you may want to show up as like the fun, cool aunt, or like the down-to-earth mom, as opposed to the uptight, stressed out professional. And you can vacillate between those different roles. I also want to say being authentic doesn't give you a pass to be thoughtless. So you can't say, oh, you've gained some weight since I last saw you, right? You can't say that. That's not thoughtful. You still want to say something thoughtful and be authentic. So you can definitely wear different hats.
So you have 6 do's and don'ts.
Yes.
What are they? Spell them out for us so we don't mess up at the next holiday function.
Certainly. So I already mentioned being grateful, so be grateful.
Okay.
I want you to find some common ground. So if there are 20 people at the table, find someone that you know you have something in common with, right? It can't be that difficult. You might have a favorite sports team, a favorite designer, a favorite actor, something like that. Also engage in non-complimentary behavior. Now that's usually the tricky one, right? Because the mirror neurons in our brains tell us to mimic what we see. So a yell begets a yell, etc. I want you to practice. If someone yells at you, if you know that uncle who's always going to get under your skin, be ready and prepare by doing something unexpected, non-complimentary. Now, not an extreme reaction, but instead of taking the bait, I want you to say, oh, okay, something they're not waiting for, which leads me to the bait, right? You know someone's going to say something to try to bait you, maybe get a rise out of you. Find an opportunity to figure out in advance how to avoid those landmines. I, for example, like to have something I can touch. That helps you to psychologically to ground yourself, right? So instead of immediately responding when someone asks about the last date you had or the last time you exercised, or why aren't you married?
Oh, what time is it?
Right, just like, right, what time is it? Or I just need to run to the restroom for a moment. Or, you know what, I forgot to send an email that's urgent. Find a way to put some distance between you and that moment.
So you can't just say, don't ask me that.
Or I'm out of wine.
That's a good one. Well, it depends. Some people I know have just said, enough is enough. My authentic self is living my truth, not being thoughtless, being thoughtful, and saying, setting some boundaries. It really makes me feel awkward when you ask me that every time I see you. Ask me about the progress I've made since we last saw each other.
So how do you handle this? SNL had a great skit about the Debbie Downer, right? It was hilarious. But there's always the negative Nelly at the table, right? Or everything kind of comes back to them and it's a negative. What do you do in that situation?
There are a couple things you can do. One, if you know who the Debbie Downer is, you can prepare. You can say, you know what, that's just Debbie being Debbie. I'm going to let her have her moment. Let's eat salad and continue. Or you can say, you know what, let's just change the conversation. There must be something else Debbie can talk about, even if it's something that's negative. So I just think a little bit of preparation in advance can help you navigate those dynamics at the family gatherings.
All great advice. Looking forward to those holiday gatherings now.
Don't forget your touch piece.
Oh, yeah.
I always have it. It's always right here. could talk to you for hours. Gosh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. Damali Peterman, thank you for joining us. You have a new book coming out soon, by the way, which is available for pre-order, Negotiating While Black, a one-of-a-kind resource on how to handle implicit bias and walk away with the best possible outcome.